Okay, well, while my stream's working, I'm going to show you this real quick here. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to erase everything. Okay, so I'm out on the 6-hour chart. We can see the month of May and June here. If we draw these trend lines, let's see. You can sort of see different. Maybe a Fibonacci fan would work well for this. Let's see. Yeah. Well, we can see that it's. I'm not sure we'd call this because. So it looks like it's some sort of. I guess you'd have to call that a wedge. Yeah, my internet's being dumb, dude. It randomly, it just stops streaming sometimes for no reason. And now it's like up to full speed. Sometimes it just doesn't send any packages. So it's kind of weird. But I'm trying to form some sort of pennant here to predict when it's going to do something. But it doesn't seem to be, seems to want to be a wedge here. Let's see. Maybe if I zoom out more. I think I might have to use some Mr. Trade special Fibonacci fan here to get what I want. Wait, that's not the right one. Okay. So the 250 wall tonight, I'm not sure about that. I honestly don't know. I think it might be till the 7th. It might be till Wednesday. Around Wednesday. Might take another day. Based off of my my pennant, which is more of an ascending triangle, but yeah, that pennant looked more like an ascending triangle, so yeah. So it looks like here, so we've been getting tighter and tighter, and what might happen is what do you guys think will happen here? 120? No, we're not going to 120. Too many people would buy in at 150, 200, 220. There's too much. People would buy up, think this is cheap ETH here, 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 here. There's too many places where there's cheap ETH before 120, so I don't think we're going to go that well. And this looks bullish, so this is interesting, though. We could... When is this? June 8th? So it's like Friday? It's Thursday? Well, that's not too far out. That's not too far out, actually. So it seems like the other times we've gone into these. Okay, I gotta look at this a bit more to predict. I just created this, so I gotta predict a little more what's gonna happen here. So we can notice, we obviously notice one thing is that it's getting tighter each time it goes up and then dips like this. So is this some sort of head and shoulders pattern that I'm not seeing yet? Let's see. This would be an inverse. This looks more This could be something right there, so it'd be... Oh no, I think... No. Maybe it's like this. That'd be an inverse head and shoulders, which would mean we'd shoot up here. I don't have an opinion on bat. I haven't had enough time to research it yet. All I've heard are good things about it, but I don't usually trust other people's opinions. So I'm looking long term here. We could be forming a large head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, which is good. In which could shoot us up really high here. Let's Google inverse head and shoulders picture just to pop it up. Sorry about that noise. Shut off my phone. And okay, here we go. I guess I need to pull this up side to side, side by side here. So what we could have over the month of May to June here, late May, early June, is a... Where did that go? Okay. Inverse head and shoulders, which... Okay, where's one that looks like that? Here we go. It may not exactly look like this, but let's see what it looks like. I haven't confirmed this yet. So basically it looks like what we have here. The only thing that it doesn't look like is probably the most important part. Actually, wait. Which is this line right here that connects the two shoulders. Currently, if we were on this pattern, we'd be right here. I think that's called a trace back, which is right here. So let's draw a line from this shoulder, the top of the shoulders. See what we get. I guess we'll start down here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know about that. It still looks like an inverse head and shoulders though. Do you think governments have anything that will make a huge wall? Do you think it's going to be important to buy soon? I think it's always important to buy. From 82. I mean, there's a bunch of, yeah, this is a trend line too. There's a bunch of lines. I guess you probably want in here. I guess we'll do this. I mean, that supported these highs pretty much. That sent us up to 217. And then, I guess it was up to 217 there. And then it also... supported that. Where do you want the line, the 82 line to end? I mean, yeah, obviously 82 is a big foci. I mean, yeah, it looks like the same. These might actually work better. They have pretty similar Fibonacci fan. Yeah. I think that's basically on the same trend here. But yeah, that's a pretty strong. I've used this one before at 82. That's really strong. So for this inverse head and shoulders, let's see. See if there's any ones that I'm not sure how accurate it has to be with that line. I think that's pretty important. Because we had a head and shoulders here, inverse head and shoulders around here, and I'm pretty sure the shoulders connected like this. So yeah, this is a clear head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. It was like that. We had a shoulder, head, shoulder. But right here, I'm not convinced it is, even though it kind of looks like that shape. And I kind of want it to be, and it has the same sort of traceback thing. But it looks really similar to this. Okay, look right here. So it looks pretty much the same. Okay, here's the problem. Wow, I'm dumb. It's not coming from above right here. So this is probably called something else. Yeah, that's the problem. Duh. So this might be a head and shoulders. Problem with head and shoulders is you can see them in really easily in everything. It's not always accurate. So I'm not sure about that yet. Mainly because we come from below. I wonder if there's something called like a lopsided head and shoulders. I guess, let's see if we see a head and shoulders. So we'd have shoulder, shoulder, or shoulder head, and then it would have dipped down here, so I'm not sure about that. It'd have to be like this, I think, to be an inverse head and shoulders. It has to be coming out from below, so if we, but it does look a lot like it here, here, and here. So ETH is slow because it's been going sideways and then shooting up for 12 hours, so if we go in, I'll redraw that pennant to June 7th. I think it's June 7th. See how accurate this one is. Huh, that's interesting. Looks like we'll break out here, down a bit, or draw that other one? Where did I draw the other line from? I don't remember. You might have to wait till this closes in. Inverted head shoulders on uptrend can appear like that too. The one in the picture is from a downtrend. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I feel like it could have done that. So I'm waiting for the result of Winklevoss ETF. That seems to have never happened yet, or never will happen, because it was supposed to happen like a month ago. I had a really good trend line from here over to... Oh, wait. I don't know. It would make more sense if it finished sooner here, since it's not going up as much. It's going up a third of this. So if it goes up a third of this, then it would be... That's not even accurate. So it's going to go up about $10 to 260-ish. And it may happen tonight, but I feel like it's going to make a bigger pennant. Yeah. So this has been... Two days. No, it's the ETH Winklevoss ETF. The Bitcoin ETF was... Wait, is it ETH? I thought it was ETH or something. I thought it wasn't Winklevoss doing the ETH. I don't know. I can never keep that straight. Those things just appear and then kill the market for some reason. I don't know why those really have an effect. I guess people think it has an effect, so I don't know. But I guess we'll look for some sort of breakout around here. It may just go down and then go like this, and then the pennant would be like that or something. That could easily happen, but it seems like... Yeah. Okay. I don't think they're doing enough with gold. I mean, Mr. Trade says he's no longer trading. When I say I don't think they're doing enough with gold, I think it's a kind of a sham in some ways, because it's not actually gold most of the time. Yeah, gold's weird because Honestly, I think we should have a gold standard, but I think the Mr. Trade stopped trading the thing is a meme. Is it not? What is Mr. Trade saying right now? Has he finally quit? I've been waiting for the day he's gonna quit. He's looking at bat now. Oh yeah, yeah. He was in my stream last night and he said he bought like a bunch of bat with all his ETH. So no one buy bat. Guys, don't buy bat because Mr. Trades just bought it, so I'm not sure when Mr. Trades has been right. I don't understand how bat can catch on. Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, bat's the browser. Yeah, bat's kind of a meme. Honestly, the thing is, the price is gonna tank after Metropolis is released with their browser. Because I don't know. I feel like they said there's some sort of browser for dApps. I guess bat is for browsing, like in a regular internet browser, and then it gives you money for ads, something like that. And the fact that no one uses Brave browser pretty much, I don't see how this will catch on. And if you have any experience doing like any tiny amount of hold on, I'm gonna put this on the mic. Any tiny amount of web development, you'll know that you can't just make a new browser unless it's basically based off of Chrome or Firefox. It would have to be based off Firefox. You can't just make, well, I guess there's Chromium too. You can't just make a new browser and have it be successful, because there's so many. If you do any sort of web development, there's so many different things that have behind the scenes compatibility issues that you have to solve. That's gonna take time over just what you actually wanted to do. So I'm not sure why. I feel like that could have been like some sort of Firefox extension, the bat browser. Doesn't it just give you money for ads or something like that? What does it do? Calculates the time on web pages given opportunity to pay the site through Bravewall. Oh. Yeah, I don't see how this whole bat thing is one of those tokens. I think it's a token, right? One of those ETH tokens that kind of scares me from investing in ETH, because I feel like this is one of those tokens that could like hurt ETH's reputation in the long run. Because that's basically the two things I'm worried about for ETH are, wow, devil horns. Just had that. Okay, the two things I'm worried about are proof of stake working and random ETH tokens being kind of shams and not actually being used for anything, having millions of dollars invested in them. I think those are the two things that I'm worried about most. And that's why I don't really support tokens that much, because even though that's the whole point of ETH pretty much, I kind of want ETH to be built on back end businesses first, with a few smaller projects, and I don't want everyone to just be jumping into all these tokens right away, like Golem and that other Augur thing or whatever. I think they're way overvalued, and they could really hurt ETH in the long run. And then proof of stake, I'm just kind of worried about, because I think aren't they like implementing it slowly, like Casper or something? I feel like I'm more confident that proof of stake. Well, I'm pretty sure proof of stake will have a few glitches that crash the market pretty severely, but I think it'll recover and it'll work eventually, and it'll be beneficial and raise the price. But it's definitely going to crash the market when there's like some glitch. Because you can't change the entire framework of Ethereum like that and not have a few glitches. So proof of stake's going to crash the market a few times probably, and tokens could kill ETH. So I'm hoping that settles down a bit, but I don't see that settling down. I feel like they have to handle it in a way like Apple apps on the App Store. They need to handle it like the App Store, where they and I think that if they handle it like the App Store, all these different tokens, then I think it will be less severe if like they don't do anything, if you know what I mean. And all these people say there's an altcoin bubble. I don't really see an altcoin bubble. I see more of a because everyone already knows they're not used for anything, and people are just investing in them. I mean, some people think they're actually going to be used for stuff, but like Potcoin, are you serious? No one's going to. Okay. So, or like Pizza Coin, like stupid stuff like that. People already know what they are, so they're all just basically pump and dumps that they're trying to make a quick buck on. And none of them, all the technology behind it's probably a real project, but most people know it's not actually going to be used for much. So I don't think there's going to be a big .com bubble with the altcoins. I think it's going to be more tokens if that were to happen. I know. The App Store is kind of a bad analogy, but it's more of just the analogy that there's a bunch of crap on there, but there's also like a handful of apps that are actually useful that people use. So I think that's kind of what it's going to be like, and I hope it's like that more. I hope it's like that instead of what else? What do I not want it to be like? Yeah. If it ends up, I think if it ends up, tokens end up being, there's a bunch of crappy ones, but everyone understands that they're crap, then I think it won't crash it as much as like the .com bubble, where people are investing in everything. I don't know. I hope that's what it turns out to be. Whoa, sorry about that. Let's see, we got messages. Okay, what was I going to do? I was looking at this, so yeah, I think it's going to break out here. What's our current volume? So we have 10,000 ETH at 50. And then at our all-time high, we have about half that up to there. And then, so we have about 5,000 ETH we have to blow through to get to our all-time high. And then and then we have to do that again to get to 250. Which honestly, going through 12,000 ETH looks impossible, but it's not, because we blew through like on the Euro USD on Kraken, we went through about 20,000 or 18,000 ETH to break through 150. So yeah, I'm not too worried about the gas fees for a couple of reasons. One, everyone that uses gas and stuff, you're not paying $1 unless you just bought ETH. You're paying like 6 cents still because the price rose so much, or whatever it was. So I think, don't they just vote on that and then it goes down, basically, the price? So if people start actually using the network, and I think they'll all get sorted out, one, if they vote to change it, and two, once people start using it in proof of stake, those things will sort the price out, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, the thing about tokens is that people that make them want money, so that's the only reason for a lot of them. Also, so that they can introduce their own tokens, which can be helpful when developing stuff, and if they want to, like, you can't just generate more ETH for if you're just using ETH instead of tokens. And I'm pretty sure it's easier to program in Solidity if you have your own tokens. So. And then also, if you don't have a token, there's no real way to there's no real way to rank the product, the DApp or whatever. But the tokens are basically ETH, so I don't know what you really mean about that. It's kind of, you have to think about it for a while and then it makes sense. It seems backwards at first, but if you think about it, the ETH that's used as gas or whatever, but it also defines the value of the tokens because the tokens are basically just ETH. That ETH transactions, basically. What's up, Asthmatic? But yeah, I see what you're saying. I've thought about that too, that a lot of these, it seems like they're just getting a token so that they can make more money and raise interest, because basically the only interest is in reading what they're going to do and then gambling money into it, like Mr. Trades. Yeah, definitely. You would have made more if you kept ETH. That's what I've been saying. Like, if you don't believe in the technology, like if you really believe in the technology, like some people really believe Golem's going to be really big, if you really believe that, then I'd say you should invest in that because it could have the chance of gaining quicker than ETH. And if you didn't get into ETH like sub 50, then you might consider doing something like that. Check a wedge. Is this that 6-hour wedge or whatever? Wait, how'd you post links? Is that allowed now? I haven't been able to make that allowed yet. Okay, so 6-hour chart. I think I had this earlier. So it looks like they skipped over this part where it dumped below the main line. And they have it down to 82. Oh, that's what you're saying. So they have it going like that. I have like a million lines. Yeah, it could be a possibility that it ends up here on the 8th, I think is what I was saying. It does look like that's what it's going to do, and I'm hoping it shoots up from there, which is definitely a possibility. And we could see some really high numbers, and it could possibly, it'll either raise the price of Bitcoin, which is more likely, or it will flip. So if we look at this, let's predict how high it will go. So if we, I think the line was at 82, up to around 250, or 260 maybe even. What was it at? Yeah, 260. Oh, that makes sense. Yo, look at this, guys. So I was predicting 260 here because if you zoom in, it's predicting 260 based off of this pennant. More of an ascending triangle, but it's about, I forget what I said, about $10 down. Where's that at? Anyways, I drew something like this, and it was about $10 down, and it was going to shoot up right here. So if it goes up from there, wait, where? I had it like this or something. Anyways, so if it goes up from there, then it would get closer to that overall month-long wedge, and this wedge here. So I think I might have to go, I'm going to Google this real quick, but I think to calculate a wedge, you do something somewhere. Calculating wedge. Okay, here we go. Wedge. And breaking down. It doesn't show the leg, the wedge here. Does anyone remember how to calculate a wedge? What happened to 350? It stopped doubling. It stopped the year-long pattern basically on June 1st of doubling. Let's just say that the wedge let's say the wedge goes up this amount from the bottom to the top. That'd be about 350. Honestly, I don't know what will happen on this sort of, it's called an ascending wedge. I don't know what will happen after it goes up, how long. I gotta calculate this. Rising wedge. Takes at least 2 reaction highs to form an upper resistance line. Ideally 3. Okay, we got 3 right here. Boom, boom, boom. We actually have 4 if you look at it closely. More like 3 though. Each one should be higher than the previous. Okay, lower line support, at least 2. So with a bunch of lower. Ideally, volume will decline as price rises. That looks like what's happening. The volume has declined as the price has gone up. Ignore this outlier right here. This is due to the dump from all the margin trading people irresponsibly do. So we have decreased in volume, which is what it's saying over here. So the volume's going down when it's going up. And so no. The rising wedge is a bearish pattern that begins wide at the bottom and contracts as price moves higher. So they're saying this is a bearish pattern and that the price will go down. And where does it correct to? So if we're at 260, this doesn't look like a what? It looks too where's that picture? The other coins I like right now, I think good long-term investments would be, wait, what did I say last night? Ethereum, Zcash. What's the third one I said last night? Third coin. Hold on, I'm going to have to check CoinMarketCap. Maybe I didn't say. Oh, I said Ethereum, obviously, Zcash, because Zcash, JP Morgan's using Zcash and it's in the Ethereum Alliance, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and then I said buy Litecoin at low 20s, sell at high 30s, and then same for Ripple, buy low 20s, sell high 30s. Except sell high 30s here and sell low 30s here. So, but I'm not sure this is a wedge. Yeah, what I'm thinking that's going to happen in the short term here is that we'll have the price go up to two. Maybe not. Anyways, I think we'll go sideways until about, and we might hit this line over here. So almost June, late night on Wednesday, late Tuesday night, we will probably see basically June 7th. We'll see it go up. Early June 7th, we'll see it go up to almost 260. So probably do something. It'll go sideways, and then it will do something like this. It'll go up to this line and then follow the line a bit, and then go sideways, and then it'll probably break out here after we've been going on this wedge for about a month. And honestly, I don't know which direction it's gonna go. Based off of what I've been reading online, it says it's bearish and it'll go down, but Ethereum's so bullish that I can't see it just dumping based off of trends like that, so we'll have to see though. No, basically I only like Ethereum for long-term holds. Ethereum and Zcash I think are two good ones to hold. I mean, if you already have Ethereum, I'd just keep that, and then if you have enough. But a more risky but potentially better investment would be Zcash. But you're kind of double risking it if you already have ETH at that point, because it's going to be based off of ETH that its price rises. So I'd say ETH and Zcash are currently what I'm thinking are good investments. Everything else seems like scam coins with good marketing. Not total scam coins, but like they won't actually do anything. That's just kind of my gut feeling. I don't know if I see this rising wedge here. It kind of does look like that actually. I'm gonna look at that picture again. Let's see what we got here. Someone sent this. So we got, oh man, why do they use such a retarded candlesticks? What are these even called? I forget. So, oh wow, it's so minimalistic. It's like really hard to see what's even going on. So, 6 hours? Oh, wrong chart. Six hours. So they are predicting. What did they say it was going to do here? Because based off of what I've been reading, it says a rising wedge breaks out bearishly from, and it seems to be doing the same thing. Rising wedge reversal. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to dump, but I'm curious if other people think that. Because I think the market's going up and up and up, so I don't think it would just crash like that. And honestly, if it went down to 200, so many people would start buying in. But it's going to get really sketchy when we get to Thursday here. When we get to Thursday, Friday. Or Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday is going to be interesting. Also Tuesday, Wednesday. So this next week's actually going to be pretty interesting. The next day is not going to be interesting. We're going to have to wait until about tomorrow night to see anything. but somewhere around there. We'll see some interesting action around here. Probably go up, and then we'll see it. Actually, wait. Looks like it's been hitting this line every time. Bouncing up. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could always break out, but I don't think so. I think the dump to 115 was a little irregular. It should have just dumped to this line and then gone back up, which it basically did. But I think it triggered a bunch of calls right here. Yeah, I think it's going to get to 400. Because if we look at the flipper chart, I think I have it right here. Maybe not. It's going to come up. Yeah, nice. Used to, you'd had to type out like the whole thing for it to come up. Okay. So if we flip right now, man, it's going high. Look at that. Almost 500. It's wild. But I think once ETH goes up, BTC is going to get pulled down a bit, so this number is going to be closer to 400, but just what I'm thinking. Flippin.it live data. Wait, what? Is this a website? Yo, flippin.it, guys. Yo, this is a new website. Or a new redirect URL. Redirect domain. Flippin.it. That's cool. Flippin' it. Okay. So yeah, guys, I think it's going to be pretty boring over the next day here. Why would you swap your ETH to Bitcoin when it dumps? I think Bitcoin's gonna go down. Look at this. We have these wedges that are forming, and then it's going up, or these flags that are forming. And let's see, when is it? Like right there. So this channel and chat room is underrated. That's cool, man. Thanks. Okay. I just started streaming like a week and a half ago, so if I were to trade, I would keep my money in USDT and pounce after a dump. That's a good plan. Are you happy we finally broke 235? Yeah. I'm pretty happy. Back here, I think I made the trend line projected to when it broke out back June 2nd, late June 2nd, so I think I was happy around June 2nd, and then when it actually happened, I was super happy when it went up to 250. I actually was really happy. I remember it was on Sunday morning. Yeah, I was super happy when it was up here. You should buy back in the next buyback in the next day and a half. Sold at 240. Oh, In the next day, you have about a day and a half, I'd say. It'll probably dip down here like that, and go up like that, and go like that. So I'd say if you catch it in a couple hours here, it'll probably dip down again. So late tonight, Pacific Standard Time. So in the next like in the next 6 hours, I'd say it'll probably dip down, and then that'd be a good time to buy in. We could crack 250, and then we'd go up to about 252 and come back down, which wouldn't be too surprising since we did that back here when we were at 235 at the peak of the line. Went sideways. Oh, it's tested again. Nope. Dumped back down. So we could see something like that. It could go up. I'm just saying it's going to go down within this sort of ascending triangle shape here and get tighter, and then it'll probably go up a lot, like $10. No, I think you worded the BTC ETH thing backwards, but yeah, I think BTC is going to go down over the next year. Well, I'm not saying it can't go to 3,000. I just think ETH's going to surpass it here eventually. It may take a while, but... Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm pretty tired. Thanks for coming out, guys. It's a good stream. I actually learned a bunch here. I like this wedge pattern you sent me. I started to look at that, actually, and then someone sent me a clearer image down to 82 up, and I actually like that one a bit more from what I had. I got a big mess here. I got to clear this all. It's looking like Mr. Trades. But yeah, expect it here. That I'll give you a rundown what to expect here. Expect it to go sideways until it hits this main trend line that we've been following for a month, this ascending wedge. And then it'll probably go up to like around 260 and then maybe go sideways again, or it'll break out. And hopefully it'll break out up, but it could definitely just break out down, since this is the pattern of a bearish wedge, so just look out for that. I'm thinking, though, it's going to break up just because of the current market. Yeah, so instead of get on Farmer's Discord, yeah, I'll show some of my stuff. So I'll be on the Discord after stream, so my Discord link's in the description. It's also, you can get there by going to farmerjoe.tk, farmerjoe.tk. That's the Discord, and then if you want to, you can donate. My ETH is down in the description if you learned something today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll be in the Discord answering more questions. So, okay guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Good night.